Two men bought the exact same land. They planted the exact same trees. But 4 years later, one lost everything in a single night, while the other built an empire. The difference wasn't luck, it wasn't money. It was a brutal, exhausting choice made in the dark, long before the storm arrived. And the truth is, you are making that exact same choice right now. Listen closely. Somewhere in the harsh, unforgiving plains of the American Midwest, two ambitious men, Mark and David, bought identical plots of land, investing their life savings to start a small agricultural business. The dirt was worthless, baked by the sun and packed with dead clay. But because it was cheap, it was the only option their limited budgets could afford. The town's old botanist sold each of them a batch of 10 rare heritage apple saplings, a practical test to see if they could master their methods on this unforgiving soil before risking a massive orchard. He warned them, while these trees are globally proven to produce the most profitable, sweetest fruit, they require deep, flawless root systems. In this hard earth, it would be a brutal challenge. Before they left, the botanist gave them one final piece of advice. If you don't break the hard ground first, your trees will never survive what's coming. Both men had the exact same starting line, the same rough earth, the same weather, and the exact same decision to make. Mark was a modern thinker who valued efficiency and rapid scaling. He remembered the botanist's words, but quickly dismissed them. He looked at his hard plot of land and decided to use the latest techniques to get a head start in the market. He dug a standard hole, planted his saplings, and invested heavily in high-grade, rapid-growth liquid fertilizers. Within a few short months, the results were undeniable. Mark's trees shot upward. They sprouted a massive, lush canopy of green leaves. Neighbors walking by would stop and admire his progress. Mark felt validated. He had used modern leverage to bypass the slow, traditional grind. His trees looked like a thriving success, and he was already planning his first big harvest. David, however, made a very different choice. He couldn't ignore the warning. While Mark's trees were already reaching for the sun, David's plot remained completely empty. His saplings sat safely in pots on his porch. Instead of planting immediately, David spent every evening after his day job on his hands and knees. He was doing the exhausting, invisible work. He used a heavy pickaxe to break through the stubborn clay. He pulled out jagged rocks one by one. His hands were blistered, his back ached, and his boots were covered in mud. He brought in wheelbarrows of rich, dark compost to mix with the loosened earth. He was digging deep, transforming the very foundation of his business. Neighbors began to whisper. Mark would lean over the fence and laugh. "David, you're overthinking it. Look at my progress." "You had the same advice I did, and look at you now." David would just smile politely. But inside, the doubt was suffocating. There were agonizing nights where he sat alone on his porch, watching Mark's trees flourish. He questioned everything. He was exhausted, his savings were dwindling, and more than once, he almost stopped digging. The hardest battle wasn't against the stubborn clay, it was against his own ego. It is a silent, agonizing torture to watch a shortcut be praised by the world while you bleed in the shadows for the long game. Most people don't fail because they lack opportunity. They fail because they avoid the work no one sees. But every single morning, he forced himself back into the mud. He knew a profound truth. What grows fast above the ground without space below it is living on borrowed time. The first year passed. And the storm finally came. It wasn't just a gentle rain, it was a violent, destructive force, the kind that tests everything. The wind didn't just blow, it tore through the branches. The rain flooded the ground. The new orchards took a direct hit. Inside their homes, both men watched, holding their breath. Because deep down, they both knew what this moment would reveal. The next morning, the truth was undeniable. Mark fell to his knees. His fast success was ripped from the earth, roots exposed, shallow, weak, and pathetic. They looked strong, but they had nothing holding them down. In a single night, everything he built was gone. He remembered the advice, the one he chose to ignore. Then they looked at David's land. His trees were smaller, less impressive, but they were still standing, unshaken. Because what no one saw was what he built in the dark. 4 years later, the difference became permanent. Mark tried to fix his mistake. He picked up the tools, tried to do it the right way. But after a few days, he quit. The same choice appeared again, and again, he walked away. David's trees, however, became giants, strong, stable, profitable. True growth is invisible until it becomes undeniable. His orchard expanded. His life changed. Life is not a race to look successful. We live in a world that praises the leaves, the fast results, the quick wins. But storms don't care about appearances. They only test what you built in the dark. 2 men were given the same advice. One ignored it. One lived by it. And the only difference was the choice they made when no one was watching. If this story resonated with you, go to the comments right now and write the word roots.